And just like that, we are back with chapter 32 of The Universe According to Mugsy. I am Mugsy the Creator. What day is it? What fucking day is today? Friday, May 10th, 2024. Hey, how are you guys? How is everybody doing? Are you getting ready for that weekend, you schmucks? Oh, this is the only podcast where we talk current events, culture, and consciousness. But today, I think I'm going to take it easy on you guys. I think this episode, we're going to talk a little more culture and a little more consciousness because I don't know, it's just what I feel like today. All right. We we touched upon intergenerational conflicts at some point over the last 31 fucking it is so hard to remember what we've covered and what we haven't because I'm talking about this shit all day long. That's what you guys don't get. Oh my god, I was doing this shit long before there was fucking podcasts anyways, all right? I'm doing this shit either way. I digress. What we were talking about at some point was intergenerational conflict, which was something that I don't even know was a term before I started discussing it. But with the boomer class and the silent generation holding somewhere around fucking 70 or north of 70% of the wealth, it seems like millennials and Generation Z are starved for opportunities. Now, a lot of people get on their high horse calling the boomer generation selfish and self-involved and materialistic. And hey, who the fuck am I to judge? Okay, I don't know what it was like to go through living in the time period when they lived. I'm not gonna ramble off 72 statistics that seem to imply that things might have been a little easier back in the day because they didn't have cell phones. All right, they didn't have access to real information. They were all propagandized. I think that might be why they're so materialistic. But anyways, I better start being nice to them because I'm about to move in with two of them June 1st. Why? Because that's how much I love you guys. That's how much I love explaining this shit to you guys. I am choosing to move in with two of those boomers. All right. And it is a fucking choice so that I can continue this endeavor of talking to you. But nonetheless, because there aren't enough of you out there paying me $3, $6, or $9 at patreon.com/Mugsy the Creator, I have had to utilize my knowledge of the universe to provide for myself in other ways. How? Energy, frequency, and vibration. And right now, I'm utilizing my energy to stuff some envelopes for an insurance company. And that requires me to mail those envelopes at the post office. Simple enough, right? Not a complicated job. I was unaware that the post office, any one of your local post offices between the hours of 4 and 5 o'clock, might as well be downtown fucking Baghdad. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've never been a pedestrian in a parking lot with 7 cars of 7 boomers that they don't care what is going on around them. It's fucking nuts to watch. They don't care what you're doing. They don't care whether you're in a hurry. They don't care if you're walking your dog. They don't care if you dropped your glasses. They are moving and you need to get out of their way. They don't have much time left. Okay? It's very important for them to do whatever it is they feel they need to do. But normally you can just allow them to continue on their way. And you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been in a fucking grocery store and you're shopping and somebody just stops their fucking cart right in front of you as if there's nobody else in the entire grocery store and we're all waiting for you to pick out your fucking rice or roni. All right. Oh, it's crazy. You all had experiences with these fucking. They just. It's like they are unaware that there's a whole society going on around them. It's fascinating to watch, and maybe it's because they're on so many fucking medications and they're so pilled out because there's so many side effects from the first thing that they needed that obviously you need 17 more, that they fail to recognize that there is a whole universe that is going on seemingly with or without them. So, anyways, I'm in the fucking post office carrying a stack of hundreds, a box of hundreds of letters. Hundreds of letters. And out of the 7 cars in the parking lot, 4 of them decided they were going to drive at the same time. They were all even. They weren't looking back. They weren't fucking checking mirrors. They weren't checking the video camera. And none of them were driving fucking Teslas. Okay. Because these boomers, they haven't upgraded to the newest technology. Okay. So all their Buicks, they don't have any ding, 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 ding. Watch out. You're about to run over a fucking pedestrian just trying to deliver some fucking mail here. Oh. But, anyways, oh, I got those letters delivered. It's it's nuts. I I just don't understand how these people got through their lives this way. It's seemingly impossible for an entire generation of people to be that self-centered. So I don't want to speak in sweeping generalizations, but what do you want me to do here, guys? If you don't believe me, go walk through downtown Baghdad at your local fucking post office. You can do this yourself. But what is it? What else did I? That was a start. You can tell I've been sitting on that one for a while. Oh, and they're so quick to point out with us too. Do you guys know any boomers that are quick to say, "Oh, you're the first generation that's going to do worse than your parents. How does that make you feel?" But they never seem to ask why that is to themselves. You know? Why is it that we're going to do worse? According to whom, first and foremost? We haven't acquired as much shit as you? How many of you are hoarders? All right? Maybe you shouldn't have as much food in your pantry as you do. All right? There's a lot of fucking things where if you want us to go shine in a magnifying glass on it, oh, I don't think you're going to like what you come to find. So keep telling us we're doing worse than you, and we will highlight to you all of the ways some of us are fucking succeeding. You tried to entrap us. You tried to enslave us with your debt to buy a house, right? For $750,000. But some of us couldn't afford them, right? And hey, lucky for you guys, you're going to be in the same boat as me. The people that were smart enough to not fucking do this shit. So I can be a slave to who? I got to go out and get a job that pays me what? To pay for what in interest on this loan that I'm borrowing? And where did the bank get that money that they lent out to me? That they worked so fucking goddamn hard for? No, no, that gets created out of thin air. Off of what? Off of my fucking deposits. Some of us saw through this bullshit. Okay? How many new toys do we fucking need? When we find out that maybe it's these toys that are causing us to be so goddamn unhealthy in the first place. No toy money can buy can match the enjoyment that someone who appreciates nature can have. And there are no negative side effects to enjoying nature's beauty. Have you realized that, boomers? You own all of the houses on the coast, right? You did it. You won. Now take a look outside that fucking window and take a look at that sunrise every fucking morning over that beautiful fucking ocean. You could have gotten all of that 35 years ago without poisoning half of America or stealing from our youth or fucking propagandizing the rest of the country. I don't know that all of these boomers are going to make it past 2030 because there's a divide coming. We're choosing our own lives, what we want to be enslaved by, and what we're willing to put up with. Because as much as these boomers have annoyed me, I'm very lucky to have two of them who I love and care about endlessly in this life. Those are my parents. I can put up with them. They can put up with me. And we can figure out a way to do this shit that doesn't involve selling your soul to somebody you don't give a shit about, who's utilizing all of your energy, frequency, and vibrations to do more fucking evil in the world, enslave more people, get more people to buy into this Ponzi scheme, this consumeristic marketplace that is nothing more than an illusion. That's what we've been trying to teach you fucking boomers. Because you're right. I'm never going to have a title at a fancy institution. But I'm going to create whatever fucking world I want to live in. Isn't that better? I didn't pledge Goldman Sachs for a retirement or a government job or a fucking teaching certificate or any of these bullshit jobs. I don't want to go work for the MBTA. All right? And help the train fucking not run well. It doesn't take a lot to run an efficient fucking train system. Train systems all over the world work efficiently. It's only the ones in the United States that don't. Do you want to dedicate your life to that? Right? Do you want to join the media? Continue to lie to people? Do you want to work for Facebook and Google and keep censoring free ideas off the internet so that it's harder for people to see a guy like me who's doing things a different way and proving that it's possible? My existence proves that anyone can do this because I'm a fucking dummy. So what I'm saying, boomers, is if you really want me to hold up a motherfucking magnifying glass on why you're doing a lot better than some of the generations that have come after you, then I will. I fucking will. You know I will. But I don't think you want that. Because that's not good for any of us. It's not good for any of us. Just like motherfucking staying in this apartment is no longer good for me. Buying property and renting it to someone doesn't make you a landlord. No more than somebody giving you a title of CEO makes you a chief executive officer. There are certain things that you just have to do to keep a property afloat. Part of that is checking in on the maintenance regularly. And when people bring light to issues that may or may not be going on, caused by who gives a shit, you have a couple options. You can investigate those issues, or you can pretend that they don't exist. Now, these boomers that love to rent these apartments out to me and love to tell me about how hard they work to get it, they also like to neglect these fucking properties, which is why I have had a ridiculous mouse problem for the past year. Now, when you bring in an exterminator, if you bring them in and they put in traps, and then you never see that fucking exterminator again, you never check those traps, you never fucking see if there's still mouse shit everywhere, then you haven't really done anything at all, right? You haven't. You haven't really done much at all. So, what the fuck? A year and a half ago, I got on my hands and knees, took 2 days off from my fucking job, and I did the entire interior perimeter of this apartment on my fucking hands and knees looking for cracks on where these fucking mice are coming in. And I found a couple, and I plugged those holes. All right? 6 months later, we got mice again. What's that mean? You got mice in the building. They're never going to be gone from the building until you actually fucking address the issue. So, fucking my Tuesday night was me addressing the fucking issue. Oh, so I was taking a shower in the bathroom when, and my roommate's been gone for the week. He's on vacation. So, I hear a scream like a, ah, ah, ah. I hope that wasn't too bad in your ears, but so I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going? So I get out of the shower and I stick my head out the door. No scream. I got no fucking TV on, no cell phone playing, nothing. So I fucking continue showering. All of a sudden, God, 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 what the fuck is going on? So I take a walk in my kitchen and I see that, oh, I've got a mouse on a mouse trap. Now, you motherfucker, I just got out of the shower. It's 11:30 at night. I've been going since 6 in the morning. Now I got to deal with this shit. Now, what is the ethical thing to do? Should I now what? Take this rat, this mouse, it's not a big one, it's a field mouse, it's a little guy, and take this glue trap out back and drop a rock on its head? Now I gotta deal with that before I lay my head down on a fucking pillow? Come on. And I'm so pissed at the fact that, and oh man, I've got traps. I've caught in so many of these motherfucking things, but I put down the traps that, kill it, fucking break its neck right away. Cause I'm a humane person. I don't leave those glue traps in there with the mouse fucking screaming. It's gross. It's fucking disgusting. These are rodents that are not my fucking roommates now because you have refused to address this issue. But anyways, so I settle on, it's 11:30 at night. I know that there are other mice in this apartment. So I'm going to let this one scream its fucking lungs off. And what I did was I turned on the white noise machine. I turned on a motherfucking fan. I went to bed like a boss. I felt so bad. But I had to you got to do what you got to do. And I'm thinking to myself, this guy, he's going to be tuckered out. He might even be dead by the morning. I'll just fucking scoop that shit up. Be no problem. I won't even have to smash its head in. But then I get up on Wednesday morning. Ah, 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 no fucking way. Are these goats? A nut? Is that mouse still alive? Nope. Another fucking mouse. So that was good. Glad I left the fucking trap down there. Idiot mouse went to go eat the other dead mouse, got stuck. Can you believe that shit? I don't know if he was really going to eat him, but I think he was. Ow! Why are you jumping on the trap? Oh my God. Just disgusting. So now it's Wednesday morning at fucking 7 o'clock in the morning, and now I can't go all day in this goddamn apartment. My last month in this apartment before I got to move in with my boomer fucking parents again at the age of 34. I got to get this fucking mouse out of here. Now, the problem is when this, I don't like doing this shit anyways, you know? I like explaining shit to you people. I don't like fucking killing mice. That's not my passion in this world. And my numbnuts roommate is just so fucking clueless. He might as well be a boomer. He doesn't give a shit about the world around him. But he takes a chair and he put it in this glue trap, like fucking flat ass glue mouse trap, like a year ago. But we don't use that chair. It's in the corner. So I just fucking left it there. And I didn't think the mice were going to fucking run on it now in the last 2 weeks here. So now I got to fucking get this chair out of the kitchen with a screaming mouse staring me in the fucking eyes, just bah, bah, bah. I'm lifting up this chair. I'm opening the door. It's fucking downpouring rain. I got a screaming mouse who is trying to use all of his energy to get out of this fucking glue trap, and there's just nowhere for him to go. There's nowhere for him to go, and he won't stop screaming, and it's in my head. So what I did was I went and I got some headphones and I put them in and I put them in fucking, I was listening to this fucking podcast on high blast, just listening to myself talk. What must have been one of the calmer episodes. And I took the entire chair out to the dumpster, put that down, fucking stepped on that glue trap with the mouse screaming still, but I couldn't hear him. It was just like screaming in your dreams. I feel so bad for this fucking mouse. Uh, so I finally got the chair off the mouse trap, picked up the mouse trap, and I couldn't kill him at this point. At this point, man, I got myself in my head and I'm just out. So I picked up that glue trap, tossed that motherfucker in the dumpster, picked up my chair, went in the house, stuck it back in the fucking corner because I ain't touching that fucking thing. Hopped in the shower and went about my fucking day. Oh, all because my landlord says I don't have mice. Can you fucking believe that shit? Can you fucking believe that shit? Because my landlord says I don't have mice. Okay, buddy. All right. So, just because I'm a good tenant, I went investigating. You know me. Fucking investigating shit. So, so I walked the perimeter, which I'm sure my landlord has done several times. And when you have flowers growing in between the pavement and the side of your building, things can get in there, like bugs and mice. And if it's big enough, a fucking human. All right. So it wasn't big enough for anything other than a couple fucking fingers, but that's way big enough for a mouse. But that crack, I'm on the first floor, bottom ground floor. That crack doesn't go into my apartment, it goes into the basement. Ah, time to take a walk through the basement. So I had my trusty flashlight and my headlamp and we went for a fucking walk in that basement that I haven't been in I don't know how long because I don't do my fucking laundry here. And what I come to find out in that basement is if anyone, homeowner, tenant, or otherwise, it could be somebody just off the street because there's street access, were to go down into that basement and take a look at any one of those windows, they would see that absolutely there are families of mice and they've been here for decades. I think they might pay rent. I mean, just the window sills were covered in mouse shit. There were some glue traps down there, no mice on any of them, but they look like they were down there from 1972. So, I mean, yeah. What do you expect? Absolutely. Yeah, they're coming right into the fucking basement. Nobody's addressing it, and we don't have mice. But, but I'm the crazy person. I'm the fucking crazy person. I got mice screaming in my fucking face. You are standing there telling me that I don't have mice. All right, why don't you take a walk in your basement? But I don't have. I only have so much time and energy. This is your house. I just pay rent. You know what I mean? I do my best to keep this fucking place clean. I'm on my hands and knees trying to make sure that there's nothing getting in here because I fucking live here. When was the last time you took a walk through the basement? Oh, what did I say today? Being well adjusted to an insane society is not a measure of strong mental health. Okay? That's why I look like a crazy person. I look like a nuts crazy person walking around these streets because I refuse to adapt to an insane society. So I'm not going to spend my time fighting these landlords. All right? I don't have a fire detector in this apartment. Could you imagine being a landlord and not renting out and not putting a fucking smoke alarm in your apartment that you're going to rent to two people that you don't really know? Okay? It's crazy. That's a crazy thing to do. It's crazy that I had a grandfather in Southie who was a firefighter. And that's been so ingrained into my fucking head that I had to go out and get fucking smoke detectors. Because I know you and carbon monoxide detectors too. Because guess what? You got holes in the motherfucking foundation. So I got to make sure there's no gas in this apartment. But hey, you're right. You guys, you guys are much more successful than us. You're much more successful than my generation. We are going to do so much worse than you in the long run, you fucking morons. All right, what other stories did I have? I think it was just story time. Oh, the internet. The internet. It's a dual edged sword, right? You can have fun conversations with charming people like me who are going to attempt to teach you things, much like the discussion we had about the college campus environment and what was going on the Columbia's campus in chapter 31. We spent like 30 minutes on it because it was important. I hope that young men find this podcast eventually, one day. So I think 30 minutes was a good amount of time to spend on this podcast on that topic of understanding how it's all connected and how you really know nothing about nothing. Now, I wish that there were some people at Barstool Sports who listened to that fucking podcast because this kid, Billy Football, who seems like a good guy, at Billy Hot Takes on Twitter and at Jack Mac, Barstool Jack Mac on Twitter. They did a podcast called Audio Crack, which I listened to, and they discuss some of the topics, but they don't have a clue what they're talking about. I mean, they have some insightful points, but they're littered in between several unthought out, unresearched, sometimes bullshit opinions that are only going to lead the listener astray, right? It would be one thing if I was complaining about all this shit and I wasn't giving you the keys to the kingdom, right? If I was just complaining about these boomers and I wasn't talking about energy, frequency, and vibration and understanding how to use these things to create your own fucking reality. And you can make that reality so much more attractive than any other reality that it becomes your everyday life. And soon you start to see people recognize that they can do it too. All right? That when I say there's going to be a divide, that's what I'm talking about. There's going to be a divide. There's going to be people that choose to stay in that slave mentality, that there is nothing I can do about it. And there's going to be other people that understand I'm only limited by my own imagination. If I can dream it, I can fucking do it. So which side of the aisle do you guys want to be on? But I have problems with podcasts that are, or anybody that are willing to tear things down, seemingly to have people observe them tear things down with no reconciliation on where we should go from here as a society. You need both together. Otherwise, you are dooming your listener to their own nihilistic worldview. That's what you're doing. You ever listen to a podcast and when you finish, you're in a good mood, right? the the energy is lifted. Whatever you're doing was more enjoyable, and you're kind of pissed that the podcast ended. You wish there was another story, another guest, something else to keep us going. When you tear down the entire existence of anything, capitalism, democracy, and then you end the podcast because you're not intelligent enough to have fully thought through everything you're going to discuss, researched that, and formulated some way to get through it in this world on your own. That's what makes your opinion valuable, right? Otherwise, it's a fart in the wind. Tell me what you've done about it, Billy Football. Tell me what you've done about it, Jack Mac. How have you countered all this shit? Because I've done it with consciousness. I've done it with 60,000 hours of research. All right. I've done it with thinking about the story of Plato's allegory of a cave on a daily basis for the last 20 years. That's how long I've been studying money. All right. And that's why I don't chase money, because I've been studying that shit way longer than you guys. There has to be more to it. Where are you trying to leave people? Oh, I'm just trying to get attention and clicks. Then get the fuck out of my way. Be my friend or be my enemy, fuckface. But I'm coming after your audience either way. All right? You're doing a good job. Has anybody ever told you that, Billy Football and Jack Mac? You're doing a good job in the face of everyone who is trying to diminish the things that you're talking about. The problem is you're not done cooking yet. And you're in an environment that isn't going to nurture the type of rigorous, logical questioning that you are doing about that you are doing on the environment that you are observing around you. No time for those questions, baby. Advertisements, entertainments, clicks. You're in a different industry altogether. You can't do that there. Maybe you can. Maybe you can prove me wrong, but what I'm telling you is you're not there yet. So to all of you guys out there fucking pretending you have an opinion on something and pretending like you understand what you're talking about, be careful. Because karma is real in this life and any other. All right. So when you lead all of these horses to this nihilistic water, and then they come back to you because they drank, and now their mind is poisoned with nihilism. What are you going to do about it? Where are you going to lead these guys? Have you ever thought about that? Probably not, because you haven't spent hours, thousands of hours battling nihilism yourself. Get to know that shit. Make it your bitch. Get so comfortable with nihilism that you see it for the sham that it is. It's an illusion. It's a trap of your mind. All right, guys? That's why consciousness is the key. Because when you're alone and nihilistic and trying to do this shit on your own, you will only end up in the bottom of that nihilistic river, thinking that everything. How many times can I say nihilism in this podcast? All right. I think I hammered the point home enough for those boys. God forbid one of those morons ever stumbles on this. I want to help people. I want you two to understand this shit and teach it to everybody you're fucking influencing. I want you to receive the positive karmic vibrations of teaching people things that they didn't know before that they can use to make their lives fucking better. And I wish I had a good fucking example for you guys right now of what to do. But hey, I think I thought enough about this fucking podcast for today, boys. Um, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? I don't know. I don't know. What a weird note to end this podcast on, but you guys got some stories in there. Fucking crazy. It's crazy. People always want to tell me what I'm doing wrong. Why does everybody want to tell me what I'm doing wrong? Take a look, motherfucker. Take a look. Ah! I'm crazier than you are. I'm happier. I'm at peace. All right? I'm in better shape mentally, physically, emotionally. Why don't you take a page out of my book? Take back your consciousness, because there are people out there who fucking love you. All right? I don't even know you. And I love you more than most of the motherfuckers out there that claim they are loving you. So take back your consciousness and have a good weekend, everybody. I love you. I'm out.